Hey folks, it's time Frugal Prepper. Some of my stuff came in from Amazon. This is all money that I spent on Amazon gift cards that I got for my 50th birthday. So I just thought I'd go over this project. I'm going to go ahead and build a watering system for the garden. I have the one watering system now for the spaghetti squash, but I want to build an automated watering system for all of the garden. The problem is I don't have enough water pressure to power all of those lines at once to water the garden, so I have to do it in 3 separate stages for the 3 20-foot beds. And on the one bed, I'm going to have one extra 10-foot piece coming off of that for my little short, narrow bed. But that will handle that okay, but it won't handle 2 20-foot sections. It just loses all of its water pressure. I just don't have the best water pressure. I have an old house that was built in 1938. So I just got all of my fittings. I got some end caps to put on there. I got some couplers. Let me open this up. So I'm doing this one different than I built the ones before. I spent the money on the adapters and I glued them. And I made them so that they thread together, but there's not enough pressure there that I need to glue these fittings. I can just pressure fit them on there. If they leak a drop or two out, that's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. It's not very high pressure. So I'll couple the 2 pipes together with those. Then I got some 90-degree adapters here. And so those will, just be my bend at the end, and it'll go to another piece and bend back, right? And then I got tees for I had to buy 4 of them because that was the minimum quantity, but I only need 1 of them because I'm going to come off after that 90 comes out. Then I'm going to come down here and put a tee in to hook up a hose to feed the other short 10-foot little bed. And that uses these adapters, which I got these at Handyman, and that'll go in there. And then rather than buying these adapters that will adapt 3/4 inch PVC to a hose, because the threaded adapters don't work, the hose is a different kind of thread than normal pipe threads. I don't know. Those were like $10 or something, and I'm like, I'm not spending that much. So I got these little adapters at Handyman for 79 cents that takes this down to a 1/2 inch thread, and then this goes from a 1/2 inch thread to like a little barb fitting that my hose will fit on the end of, and then I can just put a hose clamp on it. And then I have some old garden hose that I'll just cut up the right size pieces and do all that. So that'll fit in there, and then it'll also will fit in these couplers on the ends to go onto my pipe like that to feed the main pipe with the hose. So that's good. I'm happy I found those. I got some end caps to put on them, right? So I can put the end cap on. I guess I could come off the edge of the other one with this to go and feed the other bed or whatever, but then I'm gonna have to run a long hose because it's gonna loop up at the top end near that other bed. So I'm just gonna use this T fitting in there. But that's all good. I think everything's going to work. So what I did was I bought, let me put all this stuff back where it goes here. Hang on. I bought this timer to go onto the main hose up at the house. So I can leave it on, and then this will turn it off and on, and you can like manually bypass it and turn your water on if I'm out there working as well, right? And then I've got a 3-zone adapter here that I'm going to put in the garden, and these are waterproof too, so that's good. And I haven't taken this one out of the box before. It the box all kind of falls apart. There's skeeters in here, mosquitoes. But This one takes one input and goes to 3 separate zones that are timed. So I'll time this one to like come on for a half hour, and then I'll time, you know, less than 10 minutes, probably 8 minutes per watering zone for each of these 3 zones at that same time. And then that'll turn that water on, and then it'll automatically water my garden. This is something I wanted to do for years. I just really haven't had the money for everything. And I mean, I have the money, but I'd rather save my money. You know, it's been kind of on my list to do something like this, but I just never have. But I got a bunch of Amazon gift cards for my birthday, and that's what I decided to spend them on. And that way, my garden will automatically water itself. I still have to come out and look at it every day, but a quick look around is a lot faster than watering, right? So this'll be handy. I think everything here is right and it's going to work. I did order these at first because I thought these would adapt down to a 1/2 inch, and they do, but that's not small enough for my hose to go on to. So I went ahead and got, and those were only like 69 cents, and I only got 2 of them instead of 4, which I would have needed. So I went up to Handyman and I got this adapter that's actually threaded, and then this threads in there. And like I said, I'm just going to pressure fit all this together. I'm not going to glue it because there's no need to glue it. It doesn't have a high enough pressure, and it'll be easier to take it down and set it up if it's not glued. My other ones, I glued them and I put threaded things in them, and I have to twist them and get them all lined up, and it works. And I bought an expensive shutoff valve for the end of it, which I don't need that, but you know, I did at the time because I didn't know any better. I spent a lot more money on that one. These I'm going to do it the cheap way, and build my automatic water system. I also got some other stuff. I got some number 57 drill bits, which is what you need to drill the holes in your pipe. I'm going to do a video on how I set that up. I made the jig already to mark the pipes. I'm going to mark them, and then I'm going to drill them. It's a lot of holes. It's 3 holes every 4 inches. So it's a lot of drilling. Last time when I did my other ones, I burned up one of my old blue Ryobi drills. I burned it up. So that'll be interesting. I might try to get my drill press out that Mark Fox gave me, and use that to just drill them really quick once I get them all marked, you know, and just like bring that out and set it up on some sawhorses or something out in the yard and just drill them. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I got me a pair of cheapy Craftsman side cuts just to have for back here in the shed. I have a little tiny pair in my electrician's dikes, or their electrician's pliers, and so I just got a nice little pair of dikes to keep back here. I brought mine up from the Rendezvous, but I need to keep a set in my Rendezvous, so I will take those quins back to the Rendezvous, and I'll just keep these cheapy little Craftsman's as shed. I got me a Craftsman 9/16 socket. I got me a 13/16 deep socket, and I got a Capri 7/16 deep socket because I'm just missing those, and you need them to work on lawnmowers and stuff. You know, you need standard sizes. I also got a set of a little metric 1/4 inch drive set to keep back here, but it's not coming till like June the 12th or something, it said. So it's got a long shipping time. And then I bought 3 of these lids for the buckets. I'll go ahead and open these. But these are like a generic branded one, so I don't know if they're any good, but they were cheap. They were cheaper than they are at the store for the real ones. But I think they'll work. Yeah, they look pretty much exactly the same. I don't know if it'll fit on a regular one or not. I don't have one handy to try, but I don't care if they'll interchange as long as these seal the bucket. And then I can convert some of my other buckets that have regular lids over to these, because those other lids that seal are just a pain to get off and on. These seal up tight and stay on the bucket, so that's nice. And oh, I also got this. A nice little LED light bar for the front of my ride mower. I can light it up at night. It won't be like those lights that are built into it are useless. I mean, I guess they might help somebody see you, but you can't see anything. And my older mower that I gave to my neighbor had a set of lights on it, and then I took the lights off of it when I gave it away, and I was gonna put those on my other mower, and I never did, and I've lost track of what happened to them over the years. They're probably in the trash or something, because I have not seen them. So I figure this was like $14.99. So we'll give that a shot and see if that gives me some light at night on my riding mower. Not that I cut the grass at night, but I do drive around my tractor and pull my trailer sometimes through the yard doing stuff at night. So it's nice to have a light on there. Just always nice to have light, you know. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So I'll start getting the jig out and marking the pipe and do videos on building this watering system so that you can see how it works. A lot of people say, well, why don't you just use soaker hose? And the problem with soaker hose is it's in the dirt. And the problem with that is we put down weekly feed nutrients, and you want these pipes to be able to spray down from a distance and dissolve that weekly feed into the soil. Or you're going to have to water it with the hose and put down soaker hose. That's a nightmare. So that's why we do it elevated, keep it up away from the plants, but close enough to go towards the root of the plants and not get the leaves wet. Which you want to try to avoid getting the leaves wet, because that promotes things like powdery mildew, right? And you don't want that on your plants. You can't help it if it rains. But as long as it's not raining, you're better off to water right at the base of the plant. So yeah, this is just the kind of the standard way of doing it in the Mittlighter system to build one of these. Although people do them differently as far as how they join them, if they twist together, if they glue them together. People do that part differently. But you know, I just do it so that I'll be able to take it apart easy, store the pieces in here in the winter, and then put them out in the summer. Is all I'm looking for. So yep, that's all I got, folks. I'll talk to you all later. This is Tom, your Frugal Prepper.